Welcome back to Draft Central. Tonight, we're breaking down what scouts are calling one of the most loaded draft classes in recent memory. We're talking size, scoring, versatility, and multiple players who could change the direction of an entire franchise. At nearly 7 feet tall with guard-like skills, Luka Navarro is the ultimate mismatch. Teams are searching for players who can create offense and anchor a defense, and Luka does both. When you combine an 8-foot wingspan with elite instincts, you're talking about a potential defensive anchor who can also run your whole defense. Analysis? Well, they're already starting to call this kid a two-way point giant. And not only that, but he might just be the lottery favorite. But Luka isn't the only elite prospect. We've got guys like AJ DeBenza coming out of BYU, Cameron Boozer out of Duke, and then we can't forget the guys he's gone up against, like Braden Exum and the one and only Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez may be the most explosive scorer in the whole class, a player capable of taking over a game instantly. Braden Exum, well, he brings elite athleticism and defensive versatility, the kind of wing every championship team wants. And Quincy Porter, well, he might just be the most dangerous pure scorer of them all. Alright, so the simple question is, who you take first? I mean, Luka. Size, skill, defensive impact, you could build around that. Another analysis, I'm going to Benza. Elite wing creators, they dominate NBA today. Don't sleep on Boozer. Polished players translate fast. 4 rivals, 4 different paths. Only one can be called first. Who will it be? The opportunities began coming at Luka fast. The first of many being to be able to hoop with the next generation of Adidas athletes. That being the new and former faces of Adidas basketball. And man, he looked like a man among boys. But that opportunity led to new big opportunities to play alongside none other than LeBron James. Yep, that's right. The king himself had been hearing about the young phenom, and LeBron and some of his old homies, well, they wanted to see it up close and in person. And they got that opportunity. And when they did, well, they took every opportunity of their own to show him what it would be like, or at least give him a little glimpse of what it would be like in the league. And that boy Russ, he was going to work. He was showing, although he was old, that didn't mean nothing to him. He was still going to cook. And then, you already know, LeBron, probably the biggest enemy of Father Time. Looking like time don't affect him. Age, what is it to him? Bron was out there doing his thing and showing and reminding Luka why he had been called king for so many years. But Luka, all he did was rise to the occasion. He stepped up to the plate and he impressed NBA vets, not former, current. A lot of these guys, Hall of Famers, legends, well, soon to be, as soon as they retire. But, hey, Luka went out there and he did his thing. He was getting buckets, getting boards, and showing why his name had been ringing bells all the way in Europe. And Luka, he stayed locked in, kept working, and just putting in the grind. He didn't let any of his newfound fame since he had come over to America get to his head. He knew what the main goal was, and he stayed focused on that main goal. There was so much hype surrounding this draft class that mock drafts were already starting to drop before the G League season had even started. But once it did start, it was all gas and no brakes for my guy Luka Navarro. He wasn't looking back. He was out there showing that he was looking to make a name for himself. Not only that, but he was going to carry the pride of that Spain and Slovenian basketball on his shoulders. Night after night, coming up with big plays, showing off that length, putting it to good use. Man, I swear it seemed like every night he came up with at least 2 to 3 blocks. I could see why so many people were comparing him to defensive players like Wembanyama and Giannis Antetokounmpo. He had a high motor. The way he just fought for every rebound, man, the way he went after it was like he owned it. An example here of that high motor that I was talking about comes up with a big block, and then you see the IQ finds a teammate in transition for an easy and one bucket and an assist. Man, this kid was really showing that if he ended up in the right situation, honestly, he was the type of player, it probably don't even matter what situation he landed in. The team was going to be lucky. This is what you call a generational talent. And he was proving and showing that he was exactly that. A generational, game-changing, franchise-shaping talent. And just like that, the combine was here. And Luka was out there going through the drills, trying to show all the scouts and GMs why they should choose him. Number one, why his name should be called first overall. And I'm not gonna lie, in the 3-point shooting drill, Luka struggled a little bit. But I mean, that was kind of expected. Nobody expects a 7-footer to be perfect from behind the arc. But he was definitely showing he was respectable. But when it came to that mid-range, he was pretty consistent, showing that you definitely couldn't leave him open there. Securing the rebound, pushing it in transition, looking for a slither of space. He found it, double clutch, making it look easy. Like plays like that is what he's hoping is gonna get his name called first. But like I've been saying this whole time, it's a deep draft, so I guess we just gonna have to wait and see. And the mock drafts, well, they were all over the place, but all of them had Luka going at least in the top 3. But before we knew it, it was draft night. Here we go.
Well, Sacramento, their pick is in. Let's hear from NBA Commissioner Adam Silver to see who the Sacramento Kings will be taking.
Draft. The Sacramento Kings select
Luka Navarro.
The NBA Academy Latin America and the NBA G League's Team Ignite.
The small gyms, the overseas tournaments, being overlooked early in his journey, playing against older competition, crossing paths with rising stars, carrying the pressure of being labeled the next generation phenom. And now, he was no longer chasing the dream. He was living it. Every doubt, every critic, every comparison, it all faded. He hugged his family. You could see it in his eyes. This wasn't the finish line. This was only the beginning.